Hello, it's Jonathan here, DJ Puff the Third, and the cat Esma Florine. She's just walked out as well. We're out the back at the Communal Garden, and we've had a very wet May last month, and the garden has loved it. So let's take a look. Well, what an amount of growth, that's all I can say. I cut the grass yesterday. This potted Acer is a bit on the slow side. You can see that we've had cow parsley come up here and there, so it is spreading year on, year out, and the common hogweed is in the middle. The honesty has already flowered, it's gone to seed. We've got a crane's bill geranium here of some description. It's quite big, it fills this spot. We have a wild carrot come up here. That's a wild carrot. There was one extra. There's another one here. That's a wild carrot. There was one down here as well, but sadly I strimmed it because it's almost impossible not to strim these things. It's a little bit overgrown. I potted up a sweet chestnut that I grew from seed. So we've got a potted tree there, sweet chestnut. More honesty. And the ivy coming over the corners. The Verbena has finished flowering. Another Acer silverleaf maple. And that's just that's a sycamore, potted sycamore. But you've got a bit of height here. Something else on the floor down there. I don't know what that is. I'll check it out in a minute. The gooseberry needs cutting back. You've got a lot of long arms on this gooseberry. It never fruits. It's just like a little shrubby. Again, cow parsley on the corner. And it's all over the place. Look, here's another cranesbill type plant, just randomly growing. The sedum ice plant did survive. Heuchera looks lovely. And I planted an iris there, blue iris. It was at the back, and I moved it. Again, another honesty. And there's a echinacea there. Whether it'll come to anything, I don't know. The Verbena Bonariensis is looking even bigger this year, so that will put on a great show, that Verbena Bonariensis. Got a lot of these yellow groundsel ragwort type plants around. Look at the size of this. Again, another heuchera, and because of the wet spring we've had, the size of this heuchera, massive. The Rudbeckia has literally spread into this section now. And we have a flower on the lupin, first time for a couple of years. Oddly, this lavender has gone prostrate, which is a bit weird. It's flattened itself to the ground. Another massive. That's the original lavender, and these two are making a nice hedge. I have another bay laurel to dig up and put up here. There's a bay laurel randomly growing there. I've got to pick all these seeds off the wild garlic as well. That's a dunnock up there. And as you can see, this needs tying up again. But the rosemary is doing quite well, and I need to cut that back a little bit, get some cuttings, or well, culinary pieces off of it. Lovely, again, geranium. And the more stereotypical heuchera there, you remember the one from the 70s and the 80s in Granny's garden, with the grey-green leaf and the pink flowers. And that's a box, but it's more like the Box Hill box, not the topiary one. That's peppermint as far as I know. Yeah, that's peppermint or spearmint, one or the other. Onopordum, thistle family. That'll be flowering soon, so we've got an Onopordum. And yes, because of the rain, look at that, the growth that we've got on the hollyhock for the first time. The hollyhock looks like it might actually do something. I'll have to keep feeding and watering that. Goldfinches now. We've even got the rose in flower. It's probably a Wheatcroft rose, which is a dual colour, and it's got the dark stems. Very nice. Blackbird as well. Goldfinches. I'll put a Niger seed feeder up in the conifers near the petrol station, and I caught the goldfinches on it yesterday. Epimedium has come up again. Another heuchera here, so we've got one there, tomato, little clump of daisies that I left. Euphorbia schillingii, lovely structural leaves, great shape, and then you have the lime green bracts on the top. And them strawberries that I planted last year, you remember them? It looks like we're going to have a glut for strawberries this year. Again, we'll have to keep watering and feeding that. You saw me planting these strawberries. I've got a few onions in there, white and red, not many. And I've got the garlic and the hornbeam bonsai. I found 5 baby hornbeams. 3 of them survived, and I potted this one up into a bonsai pot. This is Michaelmas Daisy, another of Grandma's garden favourite, Michaelmas Daisy, purple flowers. And that, again, because of the wet spring we've had, I see there's a marigold, a calendula marigold growing there. And this, I'm not exactly sure what that is. It's like a daisy, a white daisy, and that's come back again, second year. Another rose, Masquerade, an old variety, more popular in the 60s, Masquerade. The roses are coming out, yeah. So we've got, I think they're Grace and Charity over here, I'm not entirely sure, or maybe it's Charlotte and Grace, I'm not entirely sure. You can hear the robin and the goldfinches and the blackbird. We've got a nice large poppy about to bust open here. And we can't forget this monster of an Onopordum. It's literally a monster. And it's related to the thistles. And found out as well that painted lady butterflies, and they love these things as well. They're caterpillars. Now this corner, this really did turn wild. And for the first time in years, because of the lack of cutting, we have an Oxide Daisy growing here. We have an Oxide Daisy, and we have whatever this stuff is. I think this was here last year. I think this has purple flowers, very small. And we've got this campion that just turned up a couple of years on. It looks like a campion. Amazing flowers on this. Airy, floaty pink flowers. And we've got these weird plants. Lots and lots and lots and lots of Herb Robert in here. Loads of Herb Robert. That's just a weed, that one. Again, big clump of Herb Robert sitting here. Not much has gone on with wildflowers in this section. Looks like I've got to water that. It might already be too late. You know what dry weather's like, you get a tiny bit of dry weather and that's it. Weird leaf, not entirely sure what it is. And the flowers, I'm not even sure if that's proper flowers. I don't know what that is. It's obviously a wild plant of some description. And this section here, again because of the moist weather we've had, this Michaelmas Daisy has just filled in this gap where the grass was. Grass. And it's amazing how a garden will just make itself. That Michaelmas Daisy has just filled in that gap, separated these two sides. The birds around here. And again, I mean, it depends if we have the moist weather, but the black breed that climbs over the fence, it's looking quite lush. But last year it didn't really do too much because it was just too dry to make the fruit grow, but you never know, and it's good to have the blackberry over the fence. And we've got the mesh as well, the wooden mesh or trellis. This Niger seed, unlike the petrol station, has not been touched, and the fat block hasn't really been touched much either. I loaded up with a bit more grass on the compost yesterday, so, but I've had a bit out of the bottom, and you can just see Esma's beach chip kitty litter on the floor basically. But yeah, it's looking pretty lush at the moment. And there's a bee buzzing about. I'm not entirely sure what type, whether it's a honeybee or not. But no, it's looking pretty good out here. I would like to grow some fresh parsley again for this season, but it's always the way, isn't it? You get one slug, you get one snail, and you're buggered. You get a tiny bit of rain, and this is what happens. Everything, your work's for nothing. Oh. But these goldfinches are certainly around. This is a clematis. Again, he will need tying up if I ever get round to it. And that was flowering last year. I had a geranium and I just potted it again. It did survive the winter. We're up to 14 minutes now. But yeah, it's looking pretty good here. And the green foliage pots. Just a conifer and some ivy and fern, and that's probably a allium, but they don't seem to have produced any flowers this year. The goldfinches are going nuts around here. This one's a little bit more exposed, and again we've got another honesty there, a cineraria and a oh, I can never remember the name of them, but the water runs off Alchemilla That's it, Alchemilla mollis. I've got to keep watering that because tiny period of anything without water. But no, it's looking pretty good. Until the council destroy it, or tell me to destroy it. We're up to 15 minutes now, and this is a normal video, so this is going to take a while to go up. There's a few plants here, split, skyrocket, I can't remember the name now. More trees, several yews and sweet chestnut. Yeah, I would have liked to have planted them, but I just didn't have the health. And that is a hibiscus. No idea what that is. And I think that we'll end it there. It's looking pretty good until the council tell me to destroy it or destroy it themselves. But the Onapordum will be breaking open soon. Them lovely pink airy campion flowers is doing quite well. Anyway, I'll best end it there. Hoping for a good day today. I had a bit of an episode last night which is a bit weird. Again, the overall body feeling, but this time it literally affected my hands. My little finger, 3 of my fingers on both sides. Oh God, honestly. And now I'm not feeling too bad last night till now, but I need to get active just in case. Anyway, we'll end it here. Hoping that I have a good day today. But we shall see. Doctors and hospitals just don't seem to be interested, so let's just hope nothing horrible happens to me. We'll end it there, I think. Update on the communal garden. Bye for now.